Well, they're now 5 behind Galway, and they're looking at the, if in case of emergency, break glass panel. And for that reason, Damien Comer is stripped and ready to go. He'll be joined as well on the field by Peter Cook. Here they go again now, Derry. Lachlan Murray with his first touch. Lachlan Murray puts it across goal! And it's tucked away by Niall Lachlan. Derry hit a huge score against Galway, and now there's real daylight between them.
Again, the kick-out's so important. He put that towards Matthew Tierney, but Conor Glass is in the vicinity, and his attack into the ball was phenomenal. They moved it so quick. And if you were Derry and Lachlan Murray just on the field, you would have wanted him to do exactly that. Get it in your hands and go bull-headed at him, which he did.
Dropped by Johnny Marr. Ball comes back out to Finnerty. Galway have to get a string of scores together. Now Tierney. Inside it goes to Dylan McHugh. Shane Walsh not having an influence really at all in this second half. Got a brilliant goal in the first. That's a good ball though. First touch for Damien Comer since coming in. He's played just 13 minutes of championship football this season. Peter Cook with a 2-point effort. And that curls towards the post and well over the bar. That's a really good score for Peter Cook. Maybe an inspirational one if that can kick-start a potential Galway comeback.
Yeah, and two fellas you'd want involved. You want a big impact off them when they're coming in. Comer gets it out to Cook, and you know he's kicked scores from distance for years. This 2-point rule is made for him, and again I'd imagine that's exactly what they wanted out of him coming in. And they couldn't afford it to have gone much longer without getting a kick like that. They'll need to, you know, double down on it now.
Well, it's one of the beauties of the 2-pointer. No game is really done. There's always the potential for a comeback with a couple of scores that take sizable chunks out of any deficit. McFall for Glass. And now it's forward to Niall Toner. Toner drives inside the arc. Going to meet him is Dylan McHugh. Lays it back to Cassidy. Cassidy looking to curl one. Oh, he struck that as sweet as he ever could have hoped to do. Cassidy gets his second score to add to the 2-pointer he got in the first half.
He has like a little sweet spot on the field that he loves getting himself into.
In February, the way things are at the moment. And that might well suit Derry, because Galway are going to struggle to put any continuity together and gain any momentum with the wind and the rain as it is, and you saw that, case in point, the attempted ball played out by Conor Gleeson there.
Yeah, not a ball I'd fancy having to deal with Gleeson coming out of that corner, dealing with that wind, and Derry with another chance here.
And it's going to be hooked in by Lachlan Murray. That's a brilliant score. What an impact he's had. Gets his first score, having laid on the goal for Niall Lachlan, and his impact from the bench has been sizable.
15 minutes here and a lot of work to do.
Down the left-hand side, Galway go through Dylan McHugh. Popped into the hands of Sean Mulcairn, and a chance, maybe good save, McKinless. Sean Kelly wasn't tracked as he made his run through, and that's a big save from the Derry goalkeeper. Sean Kelly gets his first score of the game.
Left of the middle of the field as McKinless looks at it, letting the wind take it towards the sideline here, and they're directing breaks on to runners. Of course, once I say that, he goes to the other side and they lose it.
McKinless has kicked it straight down the throat of Cian Darcy. Being watched by Glass. Here's Comer now. Going to go beyond McGrogan. Inside it goes to Marr. And a chance for Galway here. Ball got out of his hands just as he looked to pull the trigger. There was a foul in the build-up. And it'll be a free-in for Galway.
Yeah, I don't understand. McKinless' kicking has been really good, really consistent. When you have a run going of winning there, and it's way less risk, you know, with that win coming to the terrace here, he can get way more distance on it, way less risk. Keep going. Even if you lose the odd one in this side, they're winning a lot more than they're losing. So I would just double down on that until the end of the game. Not a huge amount in that foul there on John Marr. Galway would be glad to get one on the board. And again, we just see the values of kickouts. If you're not winning them, it's you get the chance to, you know, really compound score after score here, and Galway are going to have to go after that. This might sound premature, but these next 10 minutes could determine, you know, whether this current crop are going to make a push at All-Ireland or not.
Well, brilliantly read by Finnerty. McKinless might regret making that decision, and Finnerty onto his left foot, and he has put that one over the bar. Well, that is now 1-3 for the Galway full forward. Fact is, Galway, if they lose here today, and Armagh beat Dublin at Croke Park later this afternoon, last year's All-Ireland finalists will be out of this year's championship. So it's an absolutely huge 10 and 12-minute spell for Galway if they're to keep their own destiny in their hands. Here's Johnny Marr, stopped by McGuigan, drives back inside, gives it to Cian Darcy. He's done well since coming in the first half, and now there's a bit of road for him to drive into. Darcy driving forward, little ball inside to Comer, gets turned. David Comer has blasted that ball to the left of the post and wide. What a chance that was.
Yeah, you just see he'll be disappointed in the finish, but you see the danger in him, and people get a bit nervy around him from a defensive perspective because of his directness, but possibly forcing a goal that wasn't needed there, and a bit of a more composed finish, even with the hand.
But Derry will have to start all over again. Suddenly find themselves back outside the arc. Ciara McFall sends it out to Rogers. Rogers up against the Galway captain, Sean Kelly. Cuts back inside onto his left. Coming around the corner of Rogers was Lachlan Murray. Oh, what a player this guy is. What a man to be able to bring in off the bench.
Yeah, the whole response from the Derry team there has been fantastic. Like, that pass went maybe slightly ahead of Conor Doherty. Oh, we need to get a score, need to get a score. They were just composed and probably got the perfect outcome. They held, oh, there's a bad decision, I think.
But it's gone Galway's way, and it's been taken quickly by Matthew Thompson. Good run made in behind by Liam Silk. Works the ball towards Finnerty now. Finnerty with the ball across goal, and it falls nicely. Chance of a goal! Finished by Matthew Tierney. Oh, Galway were patient. They kept their composure, worked the space, and it's a brilliant finish from Matthew Tierney, and it's left the Derry goalkeeper, Ben McKinless, prone on his own end line.
That's a massive moment. I'd love to see, maybe I've got it wrong, I'd love to see that line ball decision again. Conor Glass didn't protest the whole ball, to be fair to him. The linesman said it was a fingertip touch off it.
He was fouled. Plays the ball inside. Marr has it now. Well, it's difficult to pick a winner at this stage. Galway seemingly with all the momentum behind them. Derry with the 3-point lead and still plenty of time on the clock. Stepping inside for Galway is John Daly, who's on the field. He's looking at the post, sizing them up. And that is a really good score from Cian Darcy, who's had an influence that has grown and grown as this second half has progressed.
Yeah, Galway again win the break deep in their own half, and Derry just got a little bit slow in organising their three forwards that were staying up the field, left an overlap that Cian Darcy capitalised on and finished really well. And Matthew Tierney has opted for obviously the higher risk, but with the prospect of that would level the game.
Yeah, level.
I was doubting my maths there.
Derry have led by 8 points on 2 different occasions in this game, and this would see that 8-point lead evaporated. Oh, he's got it all wrong. That's an awful attempt from Matthew Tierney. What a let-off for Derry. Huge relief for them. 6 minutes left, 2 between them.
And what you do there, it's a bit like going for the corner in rugby or whatever. It provides such an opportunity for a huge momentum and energy swing either way, depending on the outcome. I actually think with the way the game is going, if I was Galway, I would have taken the one there. Just a bit of a frantic feel about some of Galway's decisions throughout this second half. For the amount of really good footballers they have, with the amount of big game experience, I just feel, you know, some of the clarity of their decisions has been pretty questionable. That just seemed really rushed there.
What a fetch that is, and a crucial moment for Higgins. Massive contribution to the Derry cause there off that kick-out. A Derry kick-out that has been annihilated by Galway over the last quarter of an hour. Here they come now through Rory Forbes. 4.5 minutes left. Derry lead by 2. Brendan Rodgers. Well, they haven't won a game at Celtic Park since they beat Roscommon in the league last season. Well over a year since there's a supporters have seen them win on home soil. Brendan Rodgers. Rodgers hooks it with his right foot, and that is over the bar. Brendan Rodgers with a massive score. His 3rd of the game. If they don't win this game, they'll need a huge favour from Armagh Croke Park later this afternoon. From Dublin, rather, because an Armagh win, coupled with a Derry victory, and Galway would be out of this year's All-Ireland with a game to spare in the group stage. Here is Conor Gleeson. Needs an option. The Derry crowd really into it now. What a performance it's been from a Derry team that have been beaten down over the last 12 months. so many issues on and off the field. Well, it's on the field today that they've been producing the goods. Rogers won the second ball, but he couldn't find Lachlan Murray. Murray, they'll make something of it. He's had a brilliant performance since coming in from the bench. Lays it inside. Oh, the goalkeeper's left his goal. He couldn't do anything with it, Anton Tohill. He dived on the ball and he's committed the foul. Taking it away for Galway is Jack Glynn. It's now or never for this Galway team. Peter Cook. They'll need 2 scores or a goal. Either way, Derry now huge favourites. Bringing it forward is Matthew Thompson. Inside it goes now to John Daly. Long ball inside to Comer, who wins it clean. Damien Comer brilliantly blocked down. There was a foul committed by the fullback Owen McAvoy, but for which he largely made up for it with an absolutely brilliant block. It was Conor Doherty that got his hands on the ball. So it'll be a tap over free for Galway and will reduce the arrears to 2.
Yeah, I think it might have been one of those mark advantages. So I think, Comer has to take it. He's getting the ball back off Finnerty here. So he's right to go for the goal, but a huge telling block. From a Derry perspective, they might fear that they had 2 chances to kill the game there. Brendan Rodgers, after a brilliant interception, gave Lachlan Murray a bit of a hairy pass. He does brilliant to win it back. And then in fairness to Conor Gleeson, he read it really well and gambled. But again, if that ball sticks and Derry get another score, it's game up. Instead, we've a 2-point game with about 90 seconds to go.
He's seeing a lot of the ball. Marr now helps it on to Finnerty. Rob Finnerty for Galway. Back inside it goes to Daly again. Crossfield pass. A lot of space now for Johnny Heaney. Heaney steps inside. Comes back out to Malloy. Malloy with a 2-point effort. It's held up in the wind. And it's punched goalwards by Marr. It's still not clear. And it's punched to the net. Matthew Tierney with his second goal. It was a free-for-all in the Derry square, and Matthew Tierney kept his cool to knock it into the back of the Derry goal, and suddenly Galway lead.
Unbelievable. You talk about all the great bits of play around the whole pitch from both sets, and it's going to come down to just putting their bodies out there and not giving up on a lost cause. I was wondering why Malloy's taking on the last shot. He's not necessarily the fella you want, but he takes it, causes a bit of chaos, and Tierney has got himself in a position to get 2 massive moments, you know, and possibly one of his weaker games, and that's a sign of a really good player, and you know, the sort of moments that Galway could build a season on. Can Derry fight back and get something now in the last play?
Here we go again. Derry need a score. This would be an encapsulation of the last 12 months of them. Hugely competitive, brilliant at times, but all ultimately end up on the losing side unless they can turn this around. They're going to have to work a score here. The hooter will go in a couple of seconds. Here it is with Ethan Doherty. Galway just need to avoid the concession of 1 point. Cassidy, of course, a 2-pointer would win it. Do Derry want to go for the 2 points or just get the draw that would just about keep their hopes alive? Glass gets in behind. Conor Glass plays the ball inside, and a chance for Derry here. It's with Doherty. Conor Doherty puts it over the bar, and we're level at Celtic Park, just as we were in the league meeting earlier in the year. It's finished with a share of the spoils. Galway will feel they've left it behind them despite trailing by 8 points at 2 different junctures in this game. Derry will feel the draw was the very least they deserved. That's absolutely incredible in terms of the drama that finish provided. 2:20 for Derry, 4:14 for Galway. Shane McEntee, a pretty difficult task for you to turn around after that and try and pick out a man of the match.
Yeah, well, it's all often made a bit easier if there's a clear winner coming down the stretch, which we definitely didn't have. To go through like a couple of options, I thought Jack Glynn was brilliant in his man-marking role. I thought Rob Finnerty led the line really well for Galway. Again, living off scraps a little bit. From a Derry perspective, I thought Brendan Rodgers was huge, set a standard really well early on. Niall Loughlin and Shane Wigan up front, but that man on your screen there, Conor Glass, is just phenomenal. He can do so much, winning dirty ball, tackling, fielding. You know, what does he kick in the end? Is it 1-3 he gets? Could have kicked the equaliser there, and he had the composure and wherewithal to spot Conor Doherty inside. He's my man of the match. He is, as I say, I don't know if there's a fella at the moment, given a couple of retirements, I don't know if there's a fella in the game that exerts such an influence. And his character, with their backs against the wall, they needed all of those big fellas to stand up. He was phenomenal.
He is the super value man of the match after a colossal display for a Derry team that have fought all the way. They've kept their championship hopes alive just with that last gas score. Full time at Celtic Park. It has finished Derry 2-20, Galway 4-14.